Well, greetings, business communication students. This is again Mr. Doucette. This is week number 5 here at the Masters University in our Management 330 course on business communications. And this week you're going to be looking at persuasive messages, reports, and proposals. I do also want to apologize as I begin this video that I had a late start to the class, and that's why some of the videos that you were watching were outdated or said spring 2026, but this is actually me in the summer of 2026 doing this video. And as always, you're going to be having some grammar assignments, you're going to be having some writing assignments, and you're going to be having your discussion posts. But I do want to note that as far as proposals go, you are going to be doing a final proposal in this class, and it's like an 8-page or 6-page proposal. So you're going to be basically proposing that two companies join together in some kind of a partnership for their products. So you may be the athletic, maybe you're Nike shoes and you want to contact the athletic director at Masters University and you want to say, hey, can we exclusively provide shoes for all of your sports teams? This is why this would be a good deal for you and for us. So you're kind of presenting a proposal similar to that. And so you also have a written, that's a written proposal. You also have a verbal presentation or pitch that you're going to be doing as well. And those are, even though it's the same content, they shouldn't be exactly the same because a presentation is different than a written proposal. And certainly do not read your written proposal as your presentation. Ideally, your presentation would have a PowerPoint slides. You certainly can use some of the content from your proposal in the slides, but that you're actually presenting. And you can record it all by the way, all in PowerPoint. If you use PowerPoint, you can actually record yourself giving the presentation. So there's it's pretty easy to do. Just go to the slides, select record at the top, and it should step you through how to do that. But that's what we're going to be doing. So that'll be the end. Don't let that get away from you. Don't wait till the last week to start looking at your final paper, your final proposal or presentation, because a lot of students do that and then they find out they don't have enough time to get everything done efficiently. So maybe you start looking ahead right now into week number 8. But this week you're definitely going to be writing some messages as well as looking at the foundation to reports and proposals. So let's go ahead and take a look at what assignments you're going to be doing this week. So here we are in our class in Canvas for module number 5 is where we'll be since it's week number 5. So I'll select that. And this week you're going to be having, there is some lectures and readings. I just want to encourage you to watch those. I know that it can be tedious to watch hours and hours of video, but he did break them into, Dr. John Beck broke them into 20-minute segments, so they're not too difficult. And they're excellent. He's a great teacher. You have a discussion post on X3, and it's basically that there was some problems with software, and so you're communicating to your constituents about those problems and what's the strategic best way to do that. So that's what you'll be discussing. You have a writing assignment, or excuse me, a grammar assignment for chapters 9 and 10. Each one of these is a little different, as you've been seeing. Sometimes it's about adding colons and semicolons. Sometimes it's about commas. Sometimes it's about hyphens. It's rewriting the sentences for sentence splices or for missing commas, etc. So just make sure you're working through those. You only need to do level 1 and make sure you submit those. And then you have your 2 writing assignments. Now, I don't remember which 2 you're doing. I know that coming up pretty soon here, you are given a little bit of a break and you're not actually writing something. You're researching. I think one of them is an app called Slack. And so you're going to be researching Slack and kind of giving your feedback on that. Another one is LinkedIn. Whether or not you use LinkedIn, and to encourage you to do that, and then to kind of give us a report back on what you learned, and what you like about it, what you don't like about it, etc. So I'm not sure which week. I know it's coming up very soon. It could be this week. Either way, you're going to continue to have short writing assignments, either a memo, an email, or a letter. So make sure you format them correctly. Make sure that you follow the guidelines for what you're learning in the book. And by the way, up to this point, I've already graded everything through writing assignment number 6, and I'm working on 7 and 8. So make sure you go back and read my comments. You're welcome to edit and edit and re-upload any of the writing assignments up to this point for a higher score based off of my comments. So make sure you go back. But the big thing with the writing assignments isn't just that you format it correctly, but that you also remember, as I mentioned in my business writing video, whether or not you watched it, is that business writing is also how it looks. It's not just how it reads. So it's very important to make your document look very presentable, very professional, and very scannable and have high skim value that your reader can just scan the page because there's headings, bullet lists, bold text, italicized text. Their eye grabs all those items and they can scan a document versus having to thoroughly read it. Now, usually what I do as a busy business person is I scan it and then I determine what I need to read from it. And usually that works pretty good. And that helps me as a busy business person not to dread getting an email from somebody because it's so poorly written and poorly organized. So make sure you use elements of readability, text design, etc. in all of your documents to improve the readability. And then, of course, you have your second exam already. So I think we only went 1 week on that. No, 2 weeks. So we had an exam after week 3 and then an exam after week 5 at the end of week 5. And then I think we have another one at the end of week 6. So they kind of rapidly come, but then there's nothing until the end. So all right, well, that's it for week number 5. If you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to me via email or text. Text is the easiest way for me to respond quickly. If you have something urgent, just please text me. If not, then ideally use the Canvas messaging, which is the inbox over to your left over here. If you forget to do that, then just send me a direct email. I try and check my emails every day. But if I'm in there grading, I will always see your Canvas messages, and that's why it's just best. I have to go into 2 areas to check emails versus grade the class, but if you send it to me in a Canvas message, it's in one place. It's all in Canvas, so that helps me to not miss anything. All right, well, have a great week number 5, and you will see me on video again next week. Until then, God bless you.